In this video, we're going to take a look at some ways that we can describe some distributions. So let's imagine that we have constructed a relative frequency or a frequency histogram. Maybe our frequency histogram looks something like this. That frequency histogram, it doesn't change very much. Those heights are all about the same. And so this we would describe as having a uniform distribution. Right? Because the heights, they all appear to be pretty uniform. Doesn't mean they're exactly the same height. It just means that they are close to the same height. In the long run, we expect those heights to stay about the same. Those frequencies to occur about the same number of times. If you were to roll a six-sided die, the number of ones, the number of twos, the number of threes, fours, fives, and sixes you would expect to come out, you would expect them to have about the same number for each of those. So that would be a uniform distribution. You might have bars that start out small and grow to one or two large values in the middle, and then they get smaller again. And they're approximately symmetric about the middle. That would be a normal distribution. All right, so it starts out small, gets to one or two large values in the middle, and then it goes back small. It is about mirrored. It's about symmetric on either side of that distribution. We could also have a distribution that kind of looks normal. But then there's just a little extra something something on the right. So we have this extra right tail. When that happens, we would say that it is skewed right. Here's the way I think about it. If we didn't have that extra right tail, if we didn't have this stuff right here, I would think about the center of balance being right here. But that extra tail, what that does to the center of balance is it moves it to the right. So when you calculate something like a mean, that extra tail on the right is going to move it to the right. Your center of balance is now going to be over here a little bit because that tail is having this impact. It's moving that mean. Whatever the mean is. We haven't talked about that in this course yet, but we will. You might imagine if you have something skewed right, you could also have something skewed left. And that just looks like you have this tail to the left. So if we ignored this stuff right to here, it looks about normal. It starts out small, gets to large value in the middle, and then it goes back small. But we can't ignore that stuff. This stuff takes where the mean would be, and it pulls it to the left. So that is skewed left. So those are four ways that we can look at histograms and say, based on this histogram, here's how I would describe it. Having a uniform distribution, a normal distribution, skewed right or skewed left. Those are certainly not the only ways, but those are four ways that we might describe some of our histograms. All right, we'll talk to you next time.